Jump cut?
Jump cut!
All right. It's Friday, everybody, and not just any kind of Friday. Yeah, it's the Friday right before
The Woodsmith Workshop.
The Woodsmith Workshop. We've been up to our armpits in alligators working on not only an issue, but also all the last minute prep work for the workshop. And frankly, I'm not sure who scheduled that.
I don't know. It was not good scheduling,
Right.
but it's what we had. So
Somewhere in there, our deadline for the magazine got moved up because deadlines never get moved back. So we have them all going at the same time. Are we still okay?
Yeah, I think so. It's just Becky being Becky.
Okay. So anyway, I already know that there are some folk on their way for the event. So people are starting to gather, to swarm as it were, here in Des Moines, and it's going to be a pretty exciting time. I think just about all the Woodsmithers are going to be out there.
Yeah, I think there might be one or two staying here and holding down the fort while we are there, making these last minute magazine corrections, but most of us will be there, so it'll be fun. And
Mark made the sign with Chris's design, so I think it turned out pretty cool. Can't wait to see it in action. And it's kind of a quiet day here, as you might expect at end of issue and last day of prep work for the event. But we still have a few things going on, so we're going to swirl around here real quick. We're going to head over to the finish room first.
I got your tail, John, don't worry.
All right.
First up is a sneak peek at a project for the next issue. We're doing a pet bed for the little fluffy pillows that you dogs and cats like to sleep on. So we have a walnut dovetailed mattress frame here, essentially, with stretchers that are dovetailed into the sides. And right now, as we speak, Steve Johnson is turning the feet for those. So we might sneak in on there and peek over his shoulder to see how he's doing.
So would you call this a Barks frame?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he would.
I hope you're writing this and you can work that in.
Yeah, we'll try it. We'll see what happens. The other thing that I'm working on is my tabletop. I was able to get a couple of coats of ebonizing solution on there, and I just put the second coat of spray on it. So what's really funny, and I'm going to do a Facebook post on this on the TV show Facebook page later this afternoon, but before I brought it into the spray booth, it had kind of a dull, chalky, bad chocolate milk kind of color to it. So I was a little worried about how it would look, but once I hit it with the lacquer, there's a lot of colors in here that kind of jumped off the tabletop. So I'm pretty excited with how it turned out. One thing to keep in mind, we've said it before about ebonizing, is when you use the vinegar acetate solution, the vinegar with the steel wool dissolved in it, might take a couple of applications and you can just keep building that up. It's not like you're going to obscure the grain or anything. It's just, and be patient. And at some point, with all finishing, you just got to know when to walk away. Just walk away. So anyway, there we go. We'll head back around, see what else is going on.
Okay. Where am I going?
Mark? What's Mark got? Let's see what Mark has.
I'm over here.
He's like, I built you a sign.
What else do you want?
As you can see, I've been working on the sign all week, got that wrapped up. So that's done, ready for the seminar. Also made a start on this next project for the Empire chest of drawers, as you can see. I've been working on the parts and pieces for that, the plywood, and working on the legs. So hopefully there'll be more progress next week. So that's all I've got for you this week.
Yeah, big stack of parts though.
Yeah, big stack of plywood. So I've been working on putting grooves in that, and then working on the legs today, putting more grooves on that on the table saw. So been all assembled by next Friday. So
And you got some turning ahead of you too, huh?
what's that?
You got some turning ahead of you?
Got some turning ahead of me. I'm excited to get going on that. As you see, there's some split turnings on this front part of the chest of drawers. So I'll give that a whirl in a couple of weeks.
Pun intended.
Pun intended.
Nice spin on turning. Okay, so one of the things that we want to talk about today is the fact that A few years ago, we upgraded all the table saws in the shop to saw stops. What's really nice is that we have 2 table saws, 2 of the saw stops set up for just general cutting, whether it's ripping or cross cutting or whatever. We have this little guy over here who has dedicated for dado blades. So we also have kind of what amounts to an informal contest going, because
Let's be fair, it's not even a contest.
it's not even when there's already a winner, there's no contest. So when you have a saw stop, you're gonna snap some cartridges.
Yeah, and especially when you're using an aluminum fence. So John, behind the camera, may have set this one off a couple of
On a
days
dado
ago.
blade.
On a dado blade.
So you notice that there's a little bit of a curve in there from that guy activating. So I think what the thing is now that the dado blade one has been activated,
Yeah.
like, is the dado blade worth 1? Is it the same
No,
as the
it's
other
2
ones?
points. It has
and
to be
this
2
one's
points. It has to be 2
Yeah.
points because the dado blade is pretty expensive.
Right. Yeah.
And then
because
you left
it's-
with half a stack you can't use.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
how many
so-
blades?
Yeah.
At least 5 or 6.
So not only did John set this off
Right.
with the dado blade, he took the miter gauge.
In fairness,
In fairness, set it off to the side
with a different tool.
with a different tool, and Steve, who is back there turning, did the same thing. Not only a fortnight later, like the next day,
Right.
did the exact same thing with the exact same miter
Miter
gauge.
gauge.
So yeah.
Yeah. If you're not aware, aluminum and saw stop, they don't mix. So,
Which is funny because I have cut through screws on this saw and not triggered.
Oh yeah. So they weren't grounded then. or-
I know. I think it has to be somewhat conductive in some form. Like the screw I
Yeah.
cut through was buried in a sheet of plywood. I know somebody's cut through a steel ruler,
Yeah. Dennis cut
and
through steel.
did that trigger?
Well,
it?
part of it, but it was on as it was spinning down, and it didn't trigger it.
Gotcha. So
Anyway, just keep that in mind. We have a few. I haven't broken. I haven't snapped one yet.
nope, I have not.
Mark,
No, not yet.
knock on cast iron. We're still kind of free and clear on that.
So right now, John and Steve are the two that have triggered them.
atop the leaderboard.
Yes. On top of the current staff leaderboard.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Dennis had one. I think Dana had 1 or 2. I think. Pin nails do not trigger it either. So.
No, they're small enough. It's kind
Yeah. So that was a fun, exciting.
of. All joking aside, though, it is nice having that safety
It
feature of
is.
knowing what
It is. So yep. I see in there. Hands in there. Should we
All
see
right.
what he's doing?
Let's see what Steve's got.
And
See how far we get.
Can we look at it?
Careful.
Should we spin her down?
Feet for the
Dog bed.
dog bed, pet bed.
Yeah. Which those look pretty good.
Yeah, I screwed one up, so Dylan's got to order me another blanket.
it's gonna be a 3-legged bed.
It's a 3-legged bed. It would work well if you had a 3-legged
It won't
dog.
wobble.
Yeah.
No.
We'll just photograph it from one corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I made a little template. Well, first we got them in 12-inch long blanks, 3 inches square. So I turned them down round, and this is what we're shooting for. So it looks pretty cool.
That looks good, yeah.
So then I made a little template here that I can use for kind of
Eyeballing everything.
gauge where I want to put my pencil lines and what have you. So
Yeah. So we were just discussing the shop competition that you and John had going on between the saw stop cartridges.
actually, I did that for John so he wouldn't feel so lonely.
How many have you triggered then?
At least 5.
None of which have been on your hands.
No, none of it.
It's-
It's always been the aluminum miter gauge.
That's probably the most expensive miter gauge we have now.
Yeah,
It has to be.
yeah, and I've always done it. No, I never got a finger, but I've always done it with the aluminum miter gauge because I have to flick from slot to slot, and then you got to move the fence, and I just
Yeah.
have a senior moment.
No, we were talking about how you guys seem to have a competition going on, but it's not.
That's
really.
the first dado one I've done.
I think that was John's was I think the
Yeah.
first time that Dado saw had been.
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool,
All right.
awesome. Phil, what do you got going on?
Well, in addition to getting
You
my,
can't show it, can you?
I can show part of it.
Okay.
In addition to getting my props ready for my presentation on making boxes at the Woodsmith workshop, the project that I'm going to be writing for the next issue of the magazine is a shave horse. It's the first one that we've ever done for Woodsmith.
Yeah.
Kind of a step out into a different type of project and a different type of woodworking. So this one was designed by our former creative director, Ted Krylacek, who's now in a better place, off in retirement. So anyway, it's got some fun features on it. It's got on the dumb head is a little adjustable clamp so that you can more easily fit the jaw to the size of your workpiece. And there's a little notch on one end used as a ripping notch if you're doing some hand tool work. Some holes in it for bench dogs and hold downs and things like that.
So this could kind of be a small version of a traveling workbench if you wanted.
Sure, yeah. Or combines all the best features of a Sawhorse saw bench with a shave horse. So anyway, I've got a few Christmas projects that I'm working on that I've been testing it out on, and it's lots of fun.
Yeah,
I'm gonna admit.
For anybody that doesn't know how a shave horse works, you would stick your stock in there, sit down as our lovely Vanna White is doing, and you would lock the work
with the
piece
pedal.
in place by pushing the head against the workpiece. It kind of pinches it there, and then you can do some draw knife work, spoke shave work. Really,
Yeah,
there's a lot of
even
different stuff you do.
Carving and knife work. So if you're doing three-dimensional kind of work other than just straight flat square things, I found that it's been really fun to use just because of how easy it is to clamp and unclamp and reposition parts. So, and I know you're working on some props here too.
Yep, I'm working on some props, kind of fine-tuning up some of my molding planes I'll be showing off at the seminar. I'm going to be doing some custom cut molding, showing how to not only use molding planes, complex molders like this guy, that cut a profile with one plane, but mainly concentrating on how you can do the same thing with a pair of hollows and rounds. So here we have, these are roughly a size 9 hollow and round. So how you can combine these two profiles to make nearly any type of molding you would like. So that is what I'm working on, kind of getting everything sharpened up, getting some rabbets pre-cut for my stock, and that's what I'm doing on a gloomy Friday afternoon at end of issue. So
Okay, so anyway, next week we can report on how much fun the Woodsmith workshop was. Otherwise, that kind of wraps it up here. If you have any questions or comments, smart remarks, leave them in the comments below. Also, for those of you who are in Iowa or within the greater Iowa Public Television radius, season 13 of the TV show starts next week on a Tuesday. Other places may join in on that as well. So,
and one more small kick, coming up the third week of October, I believe, is that correct? Would be our, it is the 17th of October. We have a seminar going on with Bob Zimmerman. He's
Right.
going to do this one. It is our Woodsmith Live seminars we do online, and his will be on cordless tools, kind of his favorite cordless tools, kind of a history of cordless tools, looking back to the Black Decker original cordless tool that was offered up to what we have today.
Yeah.
So check that out. That is, you know the URL?
it's woodsmithshop.com/seminars.
Yep.
So you want to sign up for that one. Bob doesn't do the same kind of woodworking that we do.
No, he does not.
He does some really cool stuff, and so his take on cordless tools is definitely going to be pretty personal and pretty interesting. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
Yep.
So, otherwise, if you're coming to the Woodsmith workshop, can't wait to see you. If you're not, I wish you were.
And there's always next year.
And there's always next year. So, otherwise, we're going to tune out now. See you, everybody.